Good afternoon, world. It's Ivan Mara. It's coming at 4 o'clock. Just got off my shift at Cocoa Fruity. Was it busy, Ivan? Today was pretty busy. I had help. It was 2 dishwashers, so I work with the American black guy. This black American guy from the States. He works at Cocoa Fruity now, yeah. I think he might have quit today. I don't know. He left early, so maybe he doesn't like doing dishes, yeah. Hence why I'm going to apply it to McDonald's. Because Cocoa Fruity is stressing shit, man. Working dishwashing is not fun, man. It's a lot of work. And I guarantee you I got the job at Cocoa Fruity because the boss had a hard time finding a dishwasher, because no one likes doing dishes, man. Dishwashing is not fun. It's the most labor. It's the dirtiest job in the restaurant. Because they make you take out all the garbage. The dishwashers are the ones who they make out take out all the garbage. I always gotta do the garbage. You know what I'm saying? The other line guys don't have to do garbage. I have to do the oil. They make you do everything, man. Yeah. Yeah. That's why I'm gonna apply to McDonald's. If I get the McDonald's job, I'm gonna quit Cocoa Fruity. But I'll stay at Dinty's because I want to get that chick's number down who I like. Don't hate me, you know what I'm saying? And if I don't get the McDonald's job, I'll just work at Cocoa Fruity. Or I'll apply somewhere else, maybe Super C. I'm gonna apply to Super C, maybe work at Super C, the grocery store, instead of working at Cocoa Fruity, because washing dishes is not fun. And Cocoa Fruity is a lot of work, man. Is it more work than Dinty's? Yeah, it kind of is. Well, no, weekdays Dinty's is busy too, but it's not as bad as Cocoa Fruity, right? Cocoa Fruity is fucking crazy, man. You have to take out so many garbage. It's crazy, man. Yeah. Yeah, man. Did you talk to this and shit? Yeah, I did. Last week. Not last Wednesday. The Wednesday prior, when she worked, I talked to her like 4 or 5 times during my shift. I finally met out my Ivan, talked to her, and I went out there and I started talking to her about her school and everything. Yeah, I talked to her. Yeah, man. I man up and I fucking talked. Because usually I repel women and I'm a little shy, and I man up and I talked to her because I'm so fucking square, right? Fucking square as hell, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but you have a wife. Victoria Justice is a cheating whore. Has been getting my girlfriend now. There you go. She's gonna keep seeing those guys behind back. I'm gonna get my girlfriend too, BJ. If you're mad, I'm sorry. Karma's a bitch. I'm not gonna listen to you when you're crying, man. You're gonna keep seeing those guys. I'm gonna keep seeing Jack too. That's how it works, right? You can't have your fucking BJ. Don't hate me. I'm saying, yeah. 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 So I showed you guys what was size. Were you guys impressed by me? Yeah, that was entertaining. Yeah, my old book is entertaining. When I told you my book is entertaining, I'm not lying to you guys, man. It's an entertaining read. You guys now understand what Tactics meant when he told Cassius, I made a promise to Zeus and probably nothing like this would happen ever again. Yeah, that's a tie into that passage obviously you read. That's why I'm not sure anymore, because I'm spoiling quite a bit of the story for you guys. I won't spoil any more of the story for you. And you now know why Tactics leaves the walls. Because when you read that passage, it says, pretty much I spoiled for you. Tactics, the first gets killed by Aratat when you read a prologue. That's a spoiler that I gave. But you guys already knew because I told you that you only see Tactius the First in Volume 1. You don't see him until the end of Volume 3. Obviously, yeah, if he's not in the book, there's a reason why he's not in the book, obviously, right? Yeah. So I did spoil a bit of the prologue for you, but it's not really a big spoiler because the story isn't about Tactius the First. It's about Tactius the Second. Tactius the First is a minor character. He's only in the prologue, right? And the end of Volume 3. Almost spoil so for you. Yeah. So that's why Tactius left the walls. The only thing I'm going to say is Tactius left the walls. He wanted to go to Barak to get revenge his father's death. But then shit happened and that, you know what I'm saying? I won't look at that's not really the main reason why he left the walls. There's a bigger reason behind that, but I don't want to spoil so for you. You'll see what I mean when you read 20 years later. That's why I didn't show you that passage, right? The scene right after he has that, they have that background celebration and he's getting drunk with Tacitus when he says, Ael's not served. Yeah, after that scene, you get the huge plot twist, the huge climax in that chapter. That's why I didn't show you that chapter. He's like, Tactius tells Caesar Empire how he broke the law. He's like, you broke the law. Yeah, but I couldn't just sit on my ass like grieve my father without doing nothing. Yeah. And he wanted to go to Barak and they're like, Tactius, are you crazy? That's suicide. You can't take all his roles. But Tactius was careless. He wanted to avenge his father's death, obviously. That's all, and that's a spoiler. And that's why I'm not showing you more, because I spoiled quite a bit of the story for you guys, right? I don't want to spoil more of the story for you. But it's not really a big spoiler, because Volume 1 and Volume 2 points... Volume 3 is what the whole story is pretty much about. Everything points to that volume, hence why I didn't show you Volume 3. I don't want to spoil the story for you, man. You'll find me when you look. I want a masterpiece. When you guys hook when you read the Ivan also, that's fucking sick. And your animals characters jump on page 2, I know. We're not mindless beasts, are we? Useless, not even a challenge. After all, we're not mindless beasts, are we? I'm not sick, I know. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Isn't that we're all here to defy us? I wish I could be in Xanus right now and have his axe embedded on my head. Yeah. The wolves hate Tactius. They hate the humans. They hate Tactius with passion. Yeah. Samsara? Yeah. Yeah. That's why, guys, yesterday when I told you enough's enough, I can't show you more because I've been spoiling quite a bit of Volume 1 and Volume 2 for you, right? That's why I don't want to spoil stuff for you, man. You'll find out what happens when you read the book. I won't spoil stuff for you. Yeah. This will be but a taste what Aratat will do. This is our land that we've claimed it now. Yeah, you guys only call the land markings in when you read the book, obviously. So the wolves didn't mark the lands. No, the wolves never marked the lands until Tactius, the 10th generation. Once Tactius was born, that's when Aratat says, enough's enough, the humans in the south, wipe them out. Wipe them out or wipe out some of them and capture some of them too. Because the wolves can also capture the humans and have them be slaves. So wipe them out, wipe some out, and also captures them because Aratat wants to rule the humans. He also wants what? You got not passions about the north. I won't spoil story. So when you read Volume 3, I won't spoil story for you. Yeah, that's why my book is a masterpiece. So your story is pretty much a Clash of Kings. Yeah, it's like George R. R. Martin's Clash of Kings book. It's like a Clash of Kings. I didn't copy that off George R. R. Martin, by the way. When I wrote Xanus, I knew nothing about Game of Thrones. I didn't even know about the books when I wrote it until like recently, right? Yeah, I did not copy George R. R. Martin. If you guys think I did, I didn't. I wrote, yeah. All right, even your animal characters on my page. I know my animal characters on my page too. My book's a masterpiece, man. My book's a masterpiece. Oh yeah, tomorrow my neighbor's doing my hair, so you guys are gonna see my hair like it'll be longer now because I haven't touched it up in like 6 months. I haven't touched my hair in like 6 months, so my hair has grown. My roots have grown a lot. So when you see me tomorrow, she's doing my hair at 5 tomorrow. Around like 8 o'clock, I'll make my video, and you're gonna see me. My hair is longer now. It looks longer, yeah. My hair is growing now. It'll take a good maybe 2020, end of 2026. I'll have long dreads. End of next year, I should have my dreads will be down to here. I'll have long ass fucking dreads. I have to stop playing with my hair though. You know what? I always do this. Yeah, I always play with my hair because it's comfortable when I do that. It's so comfortable. I just play with my hair like this. It's a habit. I have to stop doing that. I'm saying. Yeah. Ivan, I love your book. I know, VJ, my book is sick. Oh, Ivan, seriously, man, did you really write that, Ivan? Yeah, I did. I wrote that, guys. I wrote it, man. Man, your book is so entertaining. I know. It's a masterpiece, man. Everything you show us, we're hooked, we're entertained. I know. My book is constant entertainment. It's a masterpiece, man. Samsara? But Ivan, how do you do it, man? Like when you write dialogue, your characters just jump on the page, your world comes alive, and these other authors I read doesn't come alive like that. It feels a bit dry and dull because those authors do not have the gift like me. That's why my book is unique. I have a unique style of writing whereby my characters jump on the page. Even my animal characters, yeah, even your animal characters, yeah. Even the wolf characters, we're not mindless beast, are we? You know, I say, yeah, even they jump out too. Yes, even the wolf characters jump out a lot of my book too, man. Aratat, what? You know, I was saying, take boat, cut off his arm. You know, I was saying, arg, those humans, they climb up the rocks and get out of here. You know, I said, yeah, I know, I was sick. I know, my book is sick, man. Constant entertainment. Yeah. The one criticism haters are going to have in my book, it's a bit raw, as you guys caught. Some of my writing is a bit raw when you read it. And Ivan's world is very vague. Yeah, even though it's vague, the world still jumps on the page because the characters make it go real. And be honest, even though my world is vague, it's a more entertaining read than these other fucking novels that spend like 4 pages. They spend 4 pages with beautiful poetic words describing the landscape and everything, but it's boring. The story's not entertaining. At the end of the day, it comes out to entertainment. Which book did you have a better experience reading? The Last of Xanus was my best reading experience, yes. The Last of Xanus is a better reading experience than Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones and Way of Kings. Don't hate me, guys. I'm saying, yeah. Better reading experience. Yeah. Some sour? Ivan, search man, your whole book or anything like that, guys? Okay, guys, every time I show you sneak peeks of my book, are you hooked and entertained? Yeah, I'm hooked and entertained. Yes, my whole book is like that. It's constant hook, constant entertainment. It's crazy. You read volume 1, you're hooked. You read volume 2, you're hooked. You read volume 3, you're hooked. It's crazy, man. It's constant entertainment. Yeah. What's your favorite volume, Ivan? I like volume 3, but it's a back and forth for me with volume 2 and volume 3, but I like volume 3 the best, because volume 3 is when the story gets very dark. It's a dark episode of Takis' life. He's facing the devil himself, hence why he's a changed, matured man. You know what I'm saying? Hence why I like volume 3 the best. But you can argue volume 2 is better. You can also even argue volume 1's the best. Some people might like volume 1. I love the whole thing with them behind the walls. Takis see the walls, Cassius and someone's look for him. I like that too. Some people might like volume 1 the best, but my personal favorite is volume 3, and volume 2 is a close second, and volume 1 is a close third. So I'm sorry, yeah. Yeah. And that's why the gates. Yeah, I now understand why your stepmother told you your book's number one. Yeah, she's like, Ivan, your book's number one. And Hollywood, she's like, she told me, she's like, yeah, because they own Hollywood, yeah, Hollywood would love your story, Ivan. She told me that. Ivan, are you serious? No, she actually, I'm not lying, she told me that, man. She's like, yeah, Ivan, your book's number one. Because when they read it, they were shocked. I was like, you guys understand why it's number one. It's a fucking unique story, obviously, fantasy story. She's like, and Hollywood would love your story, Ivan. They'd be all over your story, Ivan. She told me that, my stepmother. I'm not selling out to the Hollywood system. I have my own keys. I have to sell to you. Why would I be in Hollywood when I can start my own film studio with VJ better than Hollywood? I can fund the movie with my own cash. I don't know. I make my $14 billion off the book. I can fund Xanus for $2 billion. And make it for way more money. And I can get Peter Jackson, Mel Gibson out of the Hollywood system and they work for me. Because I don't want the executives in Hollywood touching my story. They can ruin my story, man. I'd be very, very pissed off if the Hollywood companies got control over my brand, man. They change a bunch of stuff in my story. They ruin my story. Yeah, I don't want the Hollywood executives touching my story, man. Like, Xanus is my baby. I wrote it. I don't want anyone touching that, man. I'm not selling out to the Hollywood system. No fucking way. I don't want to be in Hollywood, Sarah. Hollywood's not for me. I'd rather have my own company independent from the Hollywood system with VJ. Yeah. I have the keys again. I have to sell to you guys. I'm not selling to you. Are you crazy? No, man. Zero. That money's for me and VJ. It's not for you. Yeah, the $15 million I make off the book, that's for me and VJ. It's not for you. You're just a greedy psychopath. All the trillions in the world goes to you, and you also want to take my money because you're crazy, man. You're a greedy pig. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry. I'm greedy, man. I don't want you controlling my money, but you know I deserve to control my money. I'm fucking God, man. I created the universe. I'm bigger than you. I created the universe. You may be the god of the money system, but you didn't create the universe. I'm bigger than you. There we go. Samsara? So you actually heard your stepfather say that? Yeah. He's like, how the heck can you come up with a story like that? I heard him talking. They were talking about my book. Because when they read my section of my book, they were shocked when they read it. Holy shit, man. Ivan's book's a fucking masterpiece, man. There's something unique about his story, I know. And you guys now know what I'm talking about when I showed you sections of my book, right? There's something unique about Ivan's book. It's very entertaining. It's interesting. Yes. It's constant entertainment. Samsara? And so I'm not showing you more. I don't want to spoil the story for you, man. I'm spoiling too much of the story for you. Yeah. Yeah. Ivan, be an author when you're king. Guys, be honest. Would you rather have me be a full-time author or be a movie star? I'm a movie star, Ivan. Yes. Being VJ's movie star, that's glory, man. Whereas reading an Ivan book is cool. It's cool being a famous author, but it's not as cool as being a movie star. And my dream is not to be an author; it's to be a movie star. I only wrote the Xanus book because the gates are wicked people. They lock all the doors on me. Hence why I had no choice but to write it. Because I'm gifted, I wrote a masterpiece. Hence why once all the nerds read my book, they're going to ask me, Ira, are you going to write more books? You're such an amazing storyteller. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm going to start skyscraping with VJ and we're in movie stars. That's my dream. It's not being an author, man. Being an author is not my dream. I'd rather be a movie star than being a fucking author. Yeah. But I will adapt the book into a movie. And looking at the best movies you'll remain when you read my book, right? Looking at a masterpiece. Yeah, man. Yeah. beer from yesterday. Oh, I work again tomorrow. Tomorrow's gonna be busy because it's Mother's Day. I'm gonna be really busy at Cocoa Fruity tomorrow. Yeah. And my neighbors do my hair tomorrow. It's been like 6 months. I did my hair last time since what, November? Yeah, it's been like 6 months since I touched up my hair. Hence why my hair is, when I look in the mirror, it's grown a lot. Hence why when she twists my hair, she touches up my hair. My dreads are gonna be pretty long. My dreads are now down to my ears. They're like down to here. Remember before they were just like little spikes, my dreads? Now they're like down to here, like my ears. End of this year will be like maybe down to there. By next year, end of 2026, my dreads will be long, down to my neck. It's growing, but it's taking longer to grow than like before. Before, after 6 months of my dreads, it grew so fast. Now it grows slower. Yeah. 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 Ivan, please show us more. No, guys. If I keep showing you my book here, I'm gonna spoil the store for you, man. I already spoiled a little bit of the store for you. I don't want to spoil any more of the store for you. You'll find out when you read it. I don't want to spoil the store for you, man. You guys are buying my book. I don't want to spoil the entire book for you, right? I want you to have a good experience. You'll find out when you read my book, and you're looking at the best reading experience of your life. It's a masterpiece, yeah. Cost entertainment. It's crazy. Yeah, man. Yeah. How much you make off your book, Ivan? 10 to 14 to 20 billion. Or I might make 30, 40, 50 billion, but I highly doubt that. To make that, like 2+ billion people have to buy it, but there's only 1.35 billion English speaking people in the world. The rest of the world don't speak English. So the people in the world who don't understand English are not going to buy my book. They don't understand it. And I can't afford to translate my book in different languages. I wrote When You're King. Are you going to translate your book in different languages? No, I won't. I'll just leave it in English. I might release like new editions in the future with pictures. Like once the movie comes out, you can have John Howley draw pictures in your book. Pictures in your book. You can sell an updated edition of the book maybe like 10 years after I release Xanus. I might do that, but I'm just gonna keep it for the English readers because I can't afford to translate my book in different languages. And so all you people in our world who don't speak English, I'm sorry, you will not be able to read my book. Because my book is in English, it's for the English. And that's why the main buzz will be the English-speaking world. Europe and North America. And like Australia, New Zealand, those places, that's where the main buzz is. Whereas the foreign world, the buzz is not that big there because most people there don't speak English. Yeah. 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 So Xanus is like the perfect fantasy novel? Yeah. It's like the perfect fantasy novel. Because I'm a son of God, I'm gifted, I wrote the perfect fantasy story. It's the most entertaining story ever, and it's a masterpiece. And no fantasy author will be able to beat that story. Because these authors don't know how to entertain the fans the way I do. They know how to entertain the fans, but they don't really know how to really entertain the fans the way I do, whereby you're just hooked turning the page. You know what I'm saying? That's why I told you when I showed you guys this in my book. I guarantee you all the people who work for the big five publishing houses and all the authors, they were shocked. Holy shit, man, there's something about Ivan's book that's more entertaining than our books. And his book is more simple than ours too. Yeah. Like all these authors, they use bigger words. They have all these words and richness of the wobbling with the lands and everything. Beautifully written, obviously, but the story's not as entertaining. My book, the wobbling's vague, and it's a bit more simple, but the story is fucking entertaining. It's a fun read. Yeah, we can hate on Ivan all we want. His writing's a bit raw in some sections of his book, and his wobbling's vague, but his wobbling jump on the page because the characters make it real. And he entertained me more than my fucking book, yeah. That's why all those book publishing houses like Penn, Random House, Macmillan, Scholastics, they wish I can work with them. Ivan, come work for us. You're fucking gifted, I know. But my dream is not to be an author, and I'm not going to have you dupe me and take all my fucking money and give me the peanuts when you're only making that money because of my keys. I don't need you guys to overload for me. I can own it myself. Why the fuck would I sell interesting publishers when I can self-publish my book and I take 80% of the profits for Lulu, whereas for traditional publishing, I have to sell out. I only get 50% of the money, and the publishing houses are stealing all my money. Yes, I'll be famous in the public eye, but they're duping me. They're taking all my fucking money. When they're only making that money because of my keys. Yeah. And I don't need those amazing editors who work for those publishing houses to fix up my story. I know how to write an amazing story. I don't need any help with the story. When it comes to story, I don't need any help with that. I can do that on my own. The only thing I have to have people fix is my proofreading. My spelling, punctuations, grammar, sentence structures, that stuff I need help with. I'm not that knowledgeable with grammar. I know a little bit about grammar. I'm not that knowledgeable with grammar. But for the story, I don't need help with that, man. I'm gifted. I can write my own amazing story. As I showed you guys at the beginning of the unique guide, now it's sick. Yeah, it was interesting. And I show you guys sneak peeks of saying, yeah, it's fucking entertaining. Yeah, it's entertaining, man. It looks a masterpiece. Yeah. 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 So seriously, man, why don't the Southerners believe Taki's a prince? I told you. Because the Northerners never come to the South. They fear the wolves, and they're not welcome in Earth's territory. Hence why and Taki's still on a fake identity. They thought he was a farmer from Cyrus. And all of a sudden, that random guy claims to be the Prince of Xanus. They can't believe it. Hence why they always say that cannot be when you read the book. The Souths don't believe it. But Lithia has the faith because she believes what Taki's saying is true. Hence when you read Volume 3, Taki tells Lithia, you have great faith. He tells her that. Lithia has faith for Takius when you read the book. So Lithia knew it had something to do with Takius. Yeah, something in her heart knew that it was Takius. That's why when she came downstairs, she had that concern, father, what's wrong? And she's, I have a bad feeling my father threw Takis in the dungeon. He's like, not now, Liz. She's like, tell me. He's like, that man. She's like, who? He's like, you already know. You know, and said, yeah, she had a good feeling something bad happens with Tactius. Obviously. Because Livia likes Tactius too, right? Obviously. Tactius likes Livia. Livia likes Tactius too when you read the book, right? Obviously, right? Yeah. She likes him, obviously, when she meets him, obviously. And Belle likes Papyri. Papyri likes Belle when you read the book. And Mary likes Cornelius. What happens in the end of what happens in the relationship? I don't want to spoil the story. You'll find out in Volume 3. I won't spoil the story, right? The final chapter? Yeah, see what happens. I won't spoil the story for you, man. That's why I wrote a masterpiece, yeah. Well, Ivan, please show us Volume 3. No, man. I don't want to spoil the story for you, man. I'm not showing you Volume 3. You'll see what I mean when you read the book. I won't spoil the story for you. Yeah. Do you describe if Tactius is a white guy or not? No. The only description you guys got was what you read in that scene with Cleo, Francis, and Sebastian. He said, black long hair. That's all he said. I don't give any descriptions of the characters in my book. For a reason. That way, Peter and them can play, John and Ali can play around with ideas. Because my role-playing's vague, John and Ali can be as creative as they can be. They can play around with ideas for my world. They're not limited. They have unlimited creativity to play around with. Whereas if you're very specific like Tolkien, you kind of have to follow what's written in the book, right? Because my role-playing is vague. People say, yeah, Ivan, your role-playing is vague, so we can play around with many ideas for the world, for your world. Yeah. Because my role-playing is very vague. It jumps out on the page to the characters. When you read my book, I don't go into detail describing the lands. I just say Queen Sarah was at the castle, they're at the gate. I don't describe what the gate looks like. It's vague, but I get right to the point with the characters, and that's why my stories are entertaining. Because I focus more on the characters, less on info dumping you with the role-playing world. Because if you do that, your book can be boring. And that's what J.R.R. Tolkien does. He spends pages dumping you with what like the land looks like. The tree, the grass, the horse, the helmet, the armor, the door. It's crazy, yeah. That's why it can be boring sometimes when you read it, right? Yeah. 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 So Taki's never fought in battle. No, as you read in that passage, Sirius McCarty asked me, have you ever fought in battle, sorry? He's like, no. He's like, I, Sirius, have never been outside of the walls of Zane's. In Zane law, it's forbidden to leave the walls unless without a good, sober reason. And they're saying, so what you're saying is true, you broke the law, Taki is. He's like, yes, I did, I broke the law. And he left the walls because he was careless. You kind of get some Anakin symbolism with Tactius too, right? Like Tactius has this revenge in his heart. He wants to avenge his father's death, as you read in that passage. Was he really slain by the old Eretz? I heard great stories about your father. I'm now sick, I know. He's like, I couldn't just sit on my ass and do nothing. That's why he asked Sir Rapari, where the heck is Barak? He wanted to kill Eretad. But because that wasn't his purpose, even though Takis was stupid, obviously, Sirius told him, Takis, that's suicide. Have you seen glimpses of the wolf's power? Can anyone take them? Because they saw them destroy Cyrus, kill the people. And Taki's like, yeah, I have yet to grasp my strength and something like that. Yeah, you'll see what happens when you find 3. Obviously. Is the story of Xanus about Taki avenging his father's death? No, it's not. That's the side plot of the story. He left the walls as you run that passage because he wants to kill Eretad, obviously. But that's not the story. It's not the story. You might think it's the story when you read it, but it's not the main part of the story. He just happens to leave the walls because he wants to avenge his father's death. And that's why he says, where's Barak? I want to go there and kill Eretad. And there's a part like Takis, that's suicide. They'll kill you. Yeah, you can't take on all those wolves. Yeah, that's why you need to read Volume 3 to understand what's going on in the plot. That's why I wrote a masterpiece. Masterpiece, yeah, man. Yeah. 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 No, I mean, seriously, man, there's not one boring chapter in your book. No. Every chapter is entertainment. I showed you guys the first 6 pages of Young Tacius. I showed you guys the first, 5 pages of War of Cyrus No More. And were you entertained, Ivan? Yeah, I was fucking entertained. I was fucking interesting. Yeah, all my chapters are entertaining chapters. Interesting book, man. It's a masterpiece, man. And that's why the gates won't enter my mouth. But 0, man. That money's we just offer you not touching my money. There you go. 0, you're not touching my money. These blades out the books for me. We just offer you. You have your choice in your bank. You're not touching our money. This is me and my wife's money. It's not yours. Don't hate them, saying, yeah. Yeah. I was reading a section of my book. I'm not showing you more because I don't want to spoil story for you guys, man. I know you guys want me to show you more, but I don't want to spoil story for you, man. You'll see what I mean in the book. Yeah, that's my book's a masterpiece. It's so entertaining. Yeah, it's a masterpiece. Yeah. Well, I mean, seriously, are you bluffing? Is your whole book entertaining like that? Yes, guys. I'm not lying to you. My whole book is entertainment. It's a masterpiece, man. There's a reason why the Gates won't go through my. There's a reason why myself, when they told me my book's #1, they read it and they what? Because my me and VJ's family, they also own the book publishing and entertainment industry. They own that too. They know all these authors. They have the best editors in business, and Ivan wrote his book himself, and his book is better than other books. They know it's a masterpiece. That's why they want to buy the rights of my brand. But that's the Xanus brand is mine. You're not touching it, man. These billions of other books for me, VJ's not for you. You're just a greedy pig. The money is me, VJ's just not yours. Yeah, you care more about your brand or the money, both. I don't want the Gates touching my money. I want the billions of the books for me, VJ. I don't want anyone touching my Xanus brand. I wrote that masterpiece. I don't want anyone controlling my fucking brand. Are you crazy? The Xanus brand is mine. I don't want anyone touching that, man. Yeah, man. I don't want the Hollywood executives touching my story. They can ruin my story. And that's why I'm going to be very strict with the Gates. 0. You're not touching the money off my book. This money is for me, VJ. It's not for you. You already have your trillions in your bank. I don't know, your 80 trillion, 100 trillion, whatever it is in your bank. The 15 billion, whatever it is, off the book. The 14 billion, the 20 billion, whatever it is for me, VJ. It's not for you. You're just a greedy pig. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Yeah. So as a book critics are going to be calling your book, yeah. Book critics are going to be calling my book entertainment ride of a lifetime, a literary cinematic masterpiece, an epic thrilling horror fantasy adventure, a page turner, popcorn fantasy. It's a fun read. Popcorn fantasy pretty much means it's a fun read, but you also have another meaning for that. It's a book where you can eat while ordering takeout. Right? Popcorn fantasy is a fun read. You order your takeout while you read it, man. A lot of fans around the world are going to order the takeout while they read my book. I can't wait to read Ivan's book. I'm going to order my takeout. They get popcorn with butter. They eat popcorn. They get food. They might order like a pizza or like McDonald's or Wendy's or Burger King, Subway, shawarma. You know what I'm saying? Chips, candy. They munch on food while they eat my book. Some people might even smoke weed. They read my book when they're high, and when you read my book when you're high, you'll even get a better experience because you're high. You're like, was that? Yeah. Some people might read it when they're high too. They smoke a joint. I'm gonna smoke a joint before I read Ivan's book. You smoke a joint, you read my book, and I take it for a ride. Look at the best fans I've ever done. A masterpiece, yeah, man. Yeah. No, are you bluffing, man? Did you really write Last Words Names what you showed us? Yes, guys. I'm not lying to you. What I showed you guys, I wrote. Huh. I wrote it. Come on. Yeah. Yeah. So Ivan, it'll be a public embarrassment when you release your book. Yes, it'll be a public embarrassment in the entertainment industry for the author world. It'll be a public embarrassment in the entertainment industry for the books. The book industry will be an embarrassment. Ivan put these authors' books to shame. I'm not lying to you guys, man. You guys read sections of my book and you see a difference, man. There's something about my writing that's unique. The characters constantly jump on the page. And I've heard great stories about your father. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they jump on the page. Was he really slain by the wolf Eratat? When Sirius talking to Papari and Takis, they jump on the page. That's why my story's so entertaining. Because I have a heavenly gift that these guys don't have. These guys, Brandon Sanderson, George R. Martin, and J.K. Rowling, have help from the best editors in the business. Yeah. Samsara, they have help from the best editors in the business, obviously. Look at me, guys, and said, yeah. Was Ivan did everything himself, and his book is better than our books. Because I did everything myself, my book is a little raw in some sections, obviously. A little bit raw when some might die when you read it. As you guys caught, right? But still entertaining. It's a more entertaining read than these books, right? Yeah. That's my point right now. Yeah. Yeah. Ah. Your book is sick, I know. My book's a masterpiece, yeah, man. So good. You guys read sections of it. Yeah, your book is fucking entertaining. Yeah, the whole thing is entertainment. I'm not lying to you guys. When you read all these volumes, you're going to be hooked at turning the page. It's a masterpiece. It's a book. It's a story worth billions, man. Even if I wasn't something on, I'd be rich to this day. A story like Xanus would travel around the world. The word of mouth would spread worldwide. It'd be crazy. Is there something unique about my writing style? Obviously. Yeah, Xanus, the last one of Xanus will be more popular than J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter. It's number one. It'll be the number one IP in the world, man. The number one IP in the entertainment industry. It'll be the number one book IP in the book entertainment industry. And then once I adapt the movie and the merch and the game, it'll be the number one. Like an $80 billion brand, $100 billion brand, something crazy. $80 billion brand. It's a huge brand, bigger than Harry Potter, man. Yeah. The book, movie, merch, and game will do, I don't know, 80 billion in sales, something crazy. 100 billion in sales, 80 billion in sales, something crazy. That's like we just said, Ivan, you're self-made. Yeah, I remember when you pumped out videos about your book, and you made, I don't know, you're 50 billion off the book, and now we've made the movie for $2 million. We funded the game for $5 million. We're selling the merch on Amazon, and our brand is huge. Yeah, it's a huge brand. I think it's brand becomes huge. Yeah. Yeah. Ivan, show us Volume 3. No. I don't want to show you Volume 3. I won't spoil story for you, man. Or I can just show you the beginning of the scene with Eritide if you want, but I mean, when he finds out they're gone. But I'm only gonna show you the beginning of it. I don't want to spoil the rest of it for you. But why is it not popping up here? This is why Volume 3 is my favorite. Is that's when it gets dark, right? Chapter 10, right? Is Unexpected Journey, I believe, right? Yeah. No, I'm not going to show you the scene. It's going to spoil it for you. I'm not going to show you it. I can't show any more, guys. I want to spoil story reasons there. Yeah. Ivan, what volume is the most raw? You can argue Volume 3 is when the Volume 3 you can argue is where my dialogue is a bit the most raw. You can argue, but I mean, yeah, like the flow of the dialogue, it's amazing, but some sections of it's a little raw. It's a bit stiff, but still entertaining. But I like it the best because that's where you get the big plot twist and the story gets deep. That's why I like Volume 3 the best. But you can also argue Volume 2 is better. It just depends on how the art hits you, right? I think most fans are either going to like Volume 2 or Volume 3 the best, and Volume 1 is the worst. Because Volume 1 is just the buildup of the of the story. Yeah. I'm sorry? Yeah. Volume 1 for me is the worst for me. I like Volume 3 the best, and then Volume 2, then Volume 1, obviously. Yeah. Volume 3 I like because that's when the story gets dark and deep, and that's when like Takis is mature and everything, and it's a dark episode of his life. That's why I like it the best. That's when the story gets deep and powerful, and crazy shit happens. Yeah, that's why Volume 3 is my favorite. You can argue Volume 2 is better. It just depends on how the art hits you. Art hits everyone in different ways. I'm sorry. You know. Yeah, Ivan, the way the wolf characters talk is kind of like the way Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings movie, the orcs talk in his movie. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Find the halfling. You know, as in they talk, yeah, we're not mindless beast, are we? Useless, not even a challenge. I was saying, yeah, I'm now sick. I know my book is sick, man. Yeah, man. Sick. So Ivan, Takis works for Eli. Yes, he does. When you read the Lithia chapter, he works for Eli. Obviously, I don't want to spoil the story. You'll see when you read it, right? Hence why he hates being Colonius the farmer, because he knows he has authority over Eli, but he has to play along and act like a farmer. Hence why when Eli barged in his room, when you guys read that passage, obviously, he's like, "Rise, rise, rise, my Syrian friends! It's time for chores." Taki's like, "Oh, what time is it? It is time for chores. Go away." Excuse me. Because Taki's the arrogant prince, yeah. He's like, go away, yeah. Just like in Young Takis, he tells Asatonis to go away too. He's a arrogant, cocky prince, yeah. He hates being Colonius the farmer boy. He can't stand it. Hence why he's annoyed by Eli. Eli saying, "Rise, rise, rise! It's time for chores." And Taki's like, "Go away, man." Yeah. And he's like, "Excuse me." Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. I know it's funny. Yeah. So Aratat's evil? Yeah, Aratat's the epitome of evil. Like, because Bo let Cassius and Tatsuonis escape, he for his punishment, he's like cut off his arm. He's evil, man. Yeah. He even kills some of his own wolves if they disobey him. Yeah, he's evil, Aratat. He's an evil devil wolf king. Yeah, that's why they call him the wolf king. There's no good in him. He's evil. He's an evil being. Whereas Takis is good. He's good. Aratat's evil. He's the epitome of evil. He's a devil, man. There's nothing good. There's no good in him. Yeah, he's evil, Aratat. As you read in that passage, right? Yeah. Okay, I can show you one more scene when Aratat, this in what was Cyrus no more. I can show you that scene, or I can show you the Lithia scene. I don't know. I don't want to spoil story for you guys, man. I already showed you guys enough. What? You know what? No, I'm not going to show you guys. If I keep showing you guys, I'm going to spoil the story for you, man. Ivan, man, I want to read more of your book. No, guys, I don't want to spoil the story for you. I'm not going to show you anymore. My book's a masterpiece, man. It's everything you read, it's a masterpiece. You know? Yeah. Easy, Ivan. How much money did you make off your book, by the way? I'm like, Reggie, you want to know? Yeah, Ivan, I want to know. I made $20 billion off my book. You made $20 billion off your book, Ivan? I'm like, yeah. She's like, holy shit, Ivan. Yeah, I sold like 1 billion copies. To make $20 billion, I have to sell like 1 billion copies, which I might sell 1 billion. If I sell 1 billion copies, I'll make my 18, 19, 20 billion off the book if I sell 1 billion copies, which I might, right? He's like, Ivan, you make $20 billion off your book. I'm like, yeah. She's like, holy shit, Ivan, we can build that dream home. And if I make $20 billion off the book, I'm gonna put like 800 million towards my house. I'm not gonna want to hire 800 million. No, I don't want to waste money. Obviously, yeah. And Xanus I'll make for $2 billion. That's enough towards the 3 volumes, right? That's why you need to give Peter a big budget, obviously. No, man, is your book sick, man? I know, John. My book is sick. Yeah, it's sick. Yeah. Please, this is Lord of the Rings now. I know, please, Lord of the Rings. You have the beginning of the story. It starts off with the prologue with Tactius First's life. Okay, I can show you the prologue. A scene in the prologue instead. That way I don't spoil. I don't want to show you the rest of the book. I don't want to spoil the story for you, man. I showed the scene with the noble. Okay, I'll show you this scene of the prologue, and that's it. The scene when the noble arrives to the wall, and then he delivers the gift to Tactius, and also the scene when Tactius talks about Eratat. As long as Eratat lives, nobody's ever safe. Obviously, that's it. You read this. And this is all I'm going to show you guys, and that's it. I'm not going to show anyone. I won't spoil it. And the prologue is my worst chapter in the whole book, man. I mean, it's still entertaining when you read it, right? Yeah. This is when the noble... And the Tactius the First doesn't like the noble because he's a Salvan, obviously. Why doesn't Tactius like the Salvans? Well, you'll see what I mean when you read Volume 3. I won't spoil story for you, right? You read this, pause it, and read it. This section here, you can't really read it. Oh, shit, my bad. This section here, you can't really read it, right? But I mean, you can read it a little bit, but I mean, pause and read that. When you read this, guys, you're going to be hooked again. My book is sick, man. Pause and read that. I'll show you this second page here. And that's it. When I say this is enough, guys, enough. I thought it'd be cool to show you the prologue, but I don't want to show you the rest of Volume 1 because I don't want to spoil story for you, man. Pause and read that. Pause and read that. And then this page, and that's it. And this here, I'll read that. That's why my book is sick. Your book is sick. When you read this, you're going to be hooked too. I'll have you read... You read this here, and that's it. Ivan, what the heck does Tachys mean by the will? That's why I didn't show you Volume 3. Because that's when it all makes sense. That's why I'm not showing you Volume 3. And you notice how when Tachys talks about, like, this generation, I smile for them, Queen Serenum are clueless, but he knows. Tachys knows, but why does Tachys know? I don't suppose so. You'll see how when you read Volume 3. That's why Volume 3 is my favorite. Because that's when the story gets deep and dark, obviously. He talks about the will, right? I must go. If I don't, the will cannot be fulfilled. She's like, the will? What in the north are you talking about, Cassius? I'm now sick of it. As long as the devil lives, no one's really safe. Yeah, as long as Eretat lives, nobody's really safe. He's a devil, man. He's a powerful devil. He's like, the sky will go dark. That ties in, yeah, I won't spoil so for you. So I'm going to read the book, right? And so I'm going to masterpiece. My book is sick. Yeah, man. And when you read that, guys, you're going to be hooked again because my whole book is entertaining. And the prologue is my worst chapter in the whole book. And even when you read that, you're hooked, right? The prologue is by far my worst chapter in the whole book because it's just it's about Tachys the First's life. When Tachys the Second is a baby, obviously. So when you read the prologue, Tachys the First, it's about his life, and when Tachys the Second is a baby, he's born, obviously. And you got to see him with the noble. He said, "Let no impostor or thief steal this sword, for it bears the royal weight." That's what's written on the inscriptions on Tachys' sword. That's what's written on it, which ties into the story of when he's thrown in the dungeon. I almost spoiled the sword for you. He's like, "You have my thanks. Go now. You have my thanks, noble." Because the Nords don't like the Selvins. Tachys the First doesn't like the Selvins either. He's like, "Go now. You have my thanks, noble." Yeah. Why you give him attitude? Well, I don't want to spoil the sword for you. You'll see why when you read the book. I won't spoil the sword for you, man. You know. I mean, your book is entertaining. Yes, the whole thing is an entertaining read. Everything I show you guys hooked. Yeah, I'm hooked, Ivan. Yes, my whole book is constant entertainment. It's crazy. It's a masterpiece, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah. Or VJ don't say yeah. It's a book with blades. It's a masterpiece. Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm gonna make my blades off the book, man. Yeah. It's a masterpiece, my book. Yeah. The prologue is really the worst chapter in the book, yes. The prologue is by far the worst chapter in my book, and when I show you the prologue, you're still hooked, right? Yeah, my whole book is constant entertainment. It's a masterpiece, man. It's an amazing book. Yeah, man. It's a masterpiece. So even Tachys the First fears Eretat. Yes, every human being fears Eretat. Even though Tachys the First is powerful, he's an amazing warrior. He even has a fear for Eretat too, but he's brave, obviously. He's brave and he's brave, but they all fear Eretat. Eretat's a devil, man. He's a demonic being. Yeah, he's evil. Yeah, but they're brave, obviously, right? I almost feel sorry for you. Yeah. Yeah, but I understand, like, why the heck is Tactius, why the heck in the prologue when Tactius speaks, Queen Sarah and Cassius don't have an idea what they're talking about. Well, I don't want to spoil the story. You'll see what I mean when you read the book, obviously, right? When you read Volume 3, it'll all make sense. That's why they don't, like, Tactius knows, like, when Tactius looks up to that face in the sky, the ancestor, he says it's time. You guys don't know what that means, but when you read Volume 3, it makes sense. You know what he meant by saying that, obviously. It's time. He talks about how the will cannot be fulfilled and everything. And Sarah's like, the will? What the fuck are you talking about, Tactius? When Tactius tells Cassius, I smile for them, for no generation as long as this one here. And Cassius is like, what? He's like, what are you talking about, Tactius? They don't know. They're ignorant. He knows, but they don't know. They're ignorant, obviously. Cassius and them are ignorant. Yeah. So, Sarah? Why are they ignorant? I don't want to spoil this over. You'll see what I mean when you read about it. I don't want. That's why I didn't show you Volume 3. Because Volume 3 is when you get all the questions get answered. That's why I'm not showing you Volume 3. I don't want to spoil the story. You guys want my book is a masterpiece. Because I'm looking at a masterpiece. This book of the Rings. I know for you. It's of the Rings. It's very of the Rings, was said. No, I enjoyed the book more than Jared Tolkien's Lord of the Rings. I know, Peter. No, I'm seriously, man. I enjoyed the book more than Jared Tolkien's Lord of the Rings. I know, Peter. It's very of the Rings. Yeah, and that's it, guys. I'm not going to show you more. I decided to show you the prologue because the prologue doesn't really spoil the story. But I was going to show you some stuff in Volume 1 and 2, but I decided not to because I don't want to spoil any more of the story for you. But I showed you the prologue, and when you read that, you're hooked and entertained. Yes, my whole book is constant entertainment. It's a masterpiece, man. It's a masterpiece, yeah, man. And the characters jump on the page again, yeah. You want me to tell you my fear now? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Obviously. Yeah, all right, your book is sick. I don't know. It's a masterpiece, man. It's an amazing book. Best fast novel written, man. Yeah, man. Yeah. So, Ivan, there is your book is an adult movie. Yeah, and when you read that passage, the baby's sucking on Sarah's breast, obviously. But in the movie, what I'll do is, like, you have Angelina said she pulls down her breast, but you can have her, like, when the baby sucks on her breast, obviously, she covers it with a blanket. That way she's comfortable and she's not on. I don't want to be. I don't want to. Even though Zane's right out, I don't want to do full news of Game of Thrones. I don't want the actors to be uncomfortable. That's a bit dirty in my opinion. So like I'll have the sex be like honorable rise of liking. They look naked, but they're not really naked. Peter's like, I even tone down the sex. Yeah, Peter. I don't want the actors to be uncomfortable. I'm not comfortable. What? Like I don't want the actors to be uncomfortable while they take off their clothes. No, like it's partial nudes where you see like they look naked, but they're not really naked. Obviously, you can do a thing in the movie where Angelina Bassett, the baby is sucking on her breast, but she has like the blanket over her. That you can maybe see a partial bit of it, and that's it. And she covers it with a blanket while Taki's a second sucking on her breast as you read in that passage, right? The baby! Oh, that's sick, I know. You want me to tell you my fear now? As long as that devil lives, darkness endures, no one's really safe. And that ties into Volume 3, which I don't want to spoil story for you. That's why my book's a masterpiece. As long as that devil lives, darkness endures, no one is really safe. Which ties into the plot of the story when you read Volume 3. I won't spoil story for you, man. And that's why I wrote a masterpiece. Yeah, man. Yeah. Does Tacti's sword have powers? No. It's a regular sword, but it's special in the sense that it was made specifically for the prince with inscriptions on it. Let no thief or imposter steal this sword, for it bears the weight of royal renown, whatever it is. That's what's written on the sword. Obviously. Hence why Sirius tells Tachys in the beginning of Volume 2, your sword hide it. They cannot know the prince's name because Eli and them are the ones who forged that sword for the prince. That's why Sirius told Tachys, hide your sword. And you have to use a fake identity. You can't. Your name tag's not be used here. You can draw the wolves here, and the Southerners don't like the Northerns, and you can't trust the Southerners. The Southerners don't like the Northerns, and you also have spies. Who are the spies? You'll see when I read the book. I almost spoiled for you. Yeah. Yeah. That's why I wrote a masterpiece, man. The book's a masterpiece. Yeah. 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 Is your book religious, Ivan? A little bit. When you read Volume 3, it is a bit religious, obviously, when you read it with the ancestors and everything, but I don't want to spoil it so for you, right? You have Tactius in agony in the end of Volume 3. He's praying like Jesus prayed, right? You get a lot of biblicism with Jesus with Tactius when you read Volume 3. You'll certainly read the book, yeah, you get some Jesus with Tactius, yes. But it's not a Bible story. It's an epic horror, fantasy, adventure, thrilling story. But you can get a lot of biblicism with Xanus too, obviously. As I told you guys in my past videos, right? There's some biblical symbolism you can get with Tactius, obviously, when you read my book. But it's not a Bible story. It's an amazing horror, epic fantasy adventure, right? You know. Ivan, how you doing, man? Every time I read a section of a book, I'm hooked, and the characters feel so real. I don't know, man. It's a gift I have, man. God gave me the gift. That's why my book is so entertaining. And that's why my stepmother told me your book's #1. Because the Gates read sections of my book when they hacked my laptop. They read sections of it, and they were shocked. And that's why they hacked my laptop and they deleted my file. Because they knew, yeah, Ivan finished his book. His book's a fucking masterpiece. He has the keys. That's the places for him and his wife. This is a journey to becoming a king. We don't want to be a king. Let's delete his file. And I told you my story. I'll have to rewrite like a good chunk of my book, and I was so stressed out. All those notebooks you see, I have to rewrite all that, man. Because the gatekeepers are wicked people, man. I never made that mistake again. I saved it on my Hotmail once I wrote my file. I saved it on my Hotmail right away, and now they can't touch my file. Yeah, I'm never making that mistake again. I don't want to write that again, and I'll be so stressed out. Man, I never want to write it again. Yeah, man. Yeah. No, I even that must have been stressing. Oh yeah, I was so stressed out, man. I remember when I called the computer store. Like, yeah, sorry, Ivan, we can't fix your laptop, and I almost cried, man. I'm like, fuck, man, I have to rewrite all this. The Gates are wicked people, yeah. Obviously. I started writing my book, obviously, and I gave the folks the finger. They didn't see me give them the finger, but they were upstairs. I was writing my book, and I just took my hand, and I gave them the finger, like, while I was downstairs. They were upstairs. I'm like, fuck you guys. You guys are fucking wicked people, man, yeah. And I was so stressed out. I remember like 2021, man. I rewrote it. It took me 5 months to rewrite the whole thing. 5 fucking months, man, to rewrite my whole book, man. It was crazy. I rewrote all what I showed you there, right? All those books. I'm not playing around, guys. I have to rewrite all of that, man. I'll show you again. Imagine me This is no joke, guys. Imagine me having to rewrite all this. Pretty much, right? Like, I have to rewrite. You see how I have... See how this is all front and back? See this book? Front and back. This is 250 pages. Imagine me rewriting all this. Like, front and back of all this, man. This is what I have to rewrite for my book, man. Because I wrote my book in all these notebooks, right? I'm going to keep this for treasury because I wrote my book on these notebooks. Imagine writing all this. I'm not lying, guys. I wrote all this. It took me 5 months to write it all. Because I had a goal. I wrote like 5 pages every day. I had to write all this in 5 months, 2021, man. And you can only imagine how stressed out I was. That's why the gatekeepers are fucking wicked people, man. Yeah, man. Wicked people. Yeah, man. I remember the day I finished, I celebrated, I got beer. I finished my book, and I got beer, and I celebrated. Yeah, because I finished my novel, and I saved it on my Hotmail. I never made that mistake ever again, man. Is your book the same book as the one you wrote before? Yeah, it's the same book, but there's a few different words here and there from before, but it's the same book, obviously. I wrote everything that you guys see that I showed you, I wrote that on my notebook. It's the same book, but there are a few minor tweaks here and there, a few different changes I made, obviously, as I rewrote it, right? But it's the same book, pretty much, right now. Obviously. Yeah. Alright, man, how you doing, man? Every time I read sections of your book, I'm hooked, man. Your story is so entertaining. Yes, Xanus is the best fast novel written, guys. It's a masterpiece, man. Every volume, even my weakest chapters are entertaining enough to keep you hooked, man. What a masterpiece, man. My book is a fucking entertaining masterpiece. Everything I show you guys are hooked right now, book diving. Yes, the whole book is constant entertainment. It's a constant hook, man. Because I'm a creative genius. God gave me the heavenly gift. Yeah, man. God gave me the heavenly gift. So Taki's the first loves his son. Oh yeah, Taki's the first loves his son a lot. He had a special sword made for him, and like he's very overprotective of him. Yeah, he loves his son a lot, obviously. That's why he's like Taki's sword is stored in the treasury. You know what I'm saying? She's like she's all scared. She's like, you're scaring me, husband. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because the way he was speaking was as if like he's not gonna make it. Which leads to the story. I don't want to spoil the story. Well, you guys already know the story, right? Were you slain by the... Taki is the first dies by Eritz when you read the prologue, guys. It's spoiled. I spoiled it for you guys when you read it, right? Was he slain by the wolf Eritz? Yeah. Obviously. So that's one spoil I gave you. But you guys probably already knew he dies, because he's only in the prologue. He's not in the rest of the book. Hence why you guys probably... Yeah, I knew he died because he's not in the story. Yeah. Taki's the first is only in the prologue in the end of volume 3. Obviously. So I spoiled a little bit of the story for you, right? But that's why I'm not showing you any more of volume 2 and 1. Because I don't want to spoil any more of the story for you. But I decided to show you the prologue, because the prologue doesn't really spoil the story for you when you read the book, obviously. That's why I decided to show you the prologue. I'm not showing you anything else of volume 1 and volume 2. Because I don't want to spoil the story for you guys. You guys are fine with me read my book. I won't spoil the story for you. That's why my book is a masterpiece, man. Masterpiece, yeah, man. Masterpiece. Yeah, man. Masterpiece. Is Takius the first powerful too? Yeah. Takius the first is also an amazing warrior. Is he more powerful than Takius, his son? No, he's not. Takius, yeah. But Takius the first is also an amazing warrior too, but he's not Takius the second, right? Takius the second, when you read the book, is the most skilled warrior in the land of Xanus. He's number one, man. Takius is the most skilled warrior in the land of Xanus. But when you read that passage when Sirius asked him, have you ever fought in battle, sire? Taki says, no, I've never fought in battle, sire, but he's skilled. He's skilled in the arts. Obviously. Yeah. Yeah, obviously. But Takius, even though he looks down on the Southerns, he also has a bit of sympathy towards them. As when the wolves slaughtered the civilians, as you read in What Was Sire More, Takius went to help them, and Sirius says, no, Takius, they can kill you. You're the Princess Angel, too important, they can kill you, and there's no hope of saving those people. They burnt the whole place down. You can't help them, Takius. We gotta get the fuck out of here. The wolves came and they marked the lands. We gotta get out of here. Yeah. That's why Takius tells my promises will never happen again. And that ties into that passage when he talks to Cassius when he read that passage. I made a promise, Cassius, to Sirius Empire when their homeland was burned to the ground, and nothing like this will ever happen again. Yeah, that ties into that passage right when you read it, right? Yeah. Now it makes sense. I mean, it makes sense now. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. So Takius, even though he looks down on Saladins too, obviously, he has a little bit of sympathy for them like Cassius does too. He doesn't really care about them, obviously, but when he saw the wolves slaughtering the Syrians, he felt bad for them, obviously. He had a little bit of sympathy towards the Saladins, Takius. He wanted to help them, but Sirius tells him, Takius, you can't help them. The land is gone. The wolves can kill you, man. Obviously. Yeah. Samsara? That's why I wrote a masterpiece, man. I've heard great stories about your father. Is it true? Was your father really slain by the little Aratat? The stories you've heard are true, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, a sick movie, man. Praise I'm looking at a sick movie. This is Lord of the Rings, alright, praise Lord of the Rings. I know. It's Lord of the Rings, I'm saying, yeah, it's a masterpiece. My book, yeah, man. Yeah, man. My book is a masterpiece. So either you can write your own screenplay. Of course I can. I'm a creative genius. I can easily write Xanus on my own if I want to do the movie, but it's good to have, for screenwriting, it's good to have help. Screenwriting is a lot more difficult than writing a novel because it's motion picture, right? It's picture in motion, hence you have to picture every scene in your head. It's a lot more difficult because you're constantly showing what happens. Whereas a story, you're showing and you're telling. A novel is tough to write too, but it's not as tough as writing a screenplay. A screenplay is more difficult to write. Because I wrote Xanus and I'm an amazing storyteller, I can easily write my own script. I'm going to have Peter Jackson and Mel Gibson help me out with the script. Fran and Guillermo will help me out with a movie script. That we write an amazing script together, obviously. Because I'm not going to give Peter full power for the script. Because I'm scared him and Fran are going to make all these drastic changes, like having the woman fight. They contradict the Xanian law. They have the wolves breach the walls. They contradict the story. They have the ancestors appearing in physical form. I'm like, Peter, what the fuck are you doing, man? You're making a lot of drastic changes to my story. You're going to ruin my fucking story, Peter. What are you doing? It's not about the ancestors when you read the book. It's about Takius and Aratat. That's their story. It's not about the ancestors. I don't want you having the ancestors appearing in physical form. You're going to take away the spotlight from Takius, Peter. You're going to ruin my fucking story. We can change. I'm like, Peter, I don't want you making drastic changes to my masterpiece, man. You need to follow the end of the story. I don't want you making drastic changes like you did for Lord of the Rings. Because for Lord of the Rings, even though you follow the themes of the story, you made a lot of changes to the movie when you adapted the story, right? Peter made a lot of drastic changes to the movie when he adapted the story. I had no choice, man. Lord of the Rings is a hassle to adapt. I know, but my book is a lot more simple to adapt. Yeah, if your book's more simple to adapt, yes. We can follow it like page by page much easier than Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings you can't follow page by page. Otherwise the movie would be a mess. Because J.R.R. Tolkien has them camping like for 2 days and like in a good like 5 pages, and they meet this guy and they meet this guy, they camp again. If you follow page by page, the story would be a mess. That's why Peter Jackson had to cut out a lot of things in the book, obviously. Whereas my book is much easier to follow. Yeah, your book's more easier to follow. Yeah, my book's much more easier to follow than Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings is a fucking hassle to adapt. That's why I'm shocked Peter pulled it off. Because I can never adapt Lord of the Rings. It's too complicated for me, man. I'm like, Peter, how the fuck did you adapt Lord of the Rings? Lord of the Rings is a complicated story to adapt, man. Like, yeah, Ivan, like, it's difficult, man. I have to cover a lot of things, yeah. Whereas your book's much more easy to follow, Ivan. I know, people tell me that. It's much more easy to follow, I know. Much more easy to follow, Samsara. Yeah. 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 So I mean, Hollywood love your story. Yeah, the Hollywood companies, I guarantee you all the Hollywood executives, when they read snippets of my book, man, I would love to get my hands on that brand and adapt that story. But I'm not selling out the Hollywood system. I don't want these executives to ruin my story, man. They can perhaps ruin my story. Because the truth is, the executives in Hollywood, they're not creative people, they're business people, man. They know about business, but all they care about really is about, hopefully this movie makes money. They don't really care much. Now in Hollywood, they don't really care that much about the art. It's all about spectacle and making the money. That's what's about nowadays in Hollywood. Obviously. That's why you can argue the movies, the classics in the 80s and 90s, a lot of those movies are better than the movies that get released today. A lot of the movies that come out today are garbage in Hollywood. They're not that great movies. Whereas back in the 80s, the 70s, the 90s, that's when like a lot of good movies were coming out. Because back then the Hollywood industry was different. They cared more about the art back then. The Hollywood industry was not as big back then, but now it's all about spectacle and making money, less on telling an amazing story. Some movies in Hollywood are good stories, obviously, but nowadays it's all about spectacle, man, and making money, making that moolah, right? That's what it's about nowadays. Spectacle and making the money, obviously. Yeah. Yeah. And Hollywood will only put maybe $350 million towards Xanus. I'm telling you right now, man, $350 million towards Xanus won't cut it. You got to put a lot of money towards that world. You want to have a beautiful world of the north, the heavenly kingdom, and the south is cursed, and you have Eretat and the world's devils. You got to put a lot. You got to put. I'm putting about $2 billion towards that. $400 million towards visual effects, special effects towards each of the 3 volumes. That way you tell an amazing story. You have amazing spectacle too. I want Xanus to have amazing spectacle too, like Lord of the Rings, but also I want to tell an amazing story when I adapt the movie, right? Adapt the book. Yeah, into screen, into motion picture, obviously. Sarah? Yeah. Yeah. Why the fuck would I have the Hollywood companies control my Xanus brand and traditionally publish and have Penguin Random House rip me off and take all my money when they make that money because of my keys, and have the editors touch my story and ruin my fucking story? When I have the keys, I can self-publish the book myself. I don't need you to open the door for me. I can open it myself, and I own the rights to the Xanus brand. And the billions I make off the book, I don't know, my $50 billion, my $20 billion off the book, I can now fund Xanus for $2 billion, and I can make an amazing, a better quality movie than even Hollywood, and fund the game for $500 million, sell the merch, Sign that Mega 8020 with Amazon. Why the fuck would I sell to you guys? I have my own keys. I don't have to sell to you. Don't hate me. I said, yeah. Some Sarah? Yeah. Alright, you're fucking cocky. You think you're gonna put these books to shame and it'll be a public embarrassment. When you guys read snippets of my book, and when you read my book, you see a difference when you read these other novels. Yeah, I see a difference. Yeah, my book is very entertaining. The characters jump on the page. It feels more fresh. Whereas these other books, the characters jump out a little bit, but it feels more dull, and the story feels more dry. It's not as entertaining. They're entertaining books, but they're not. They seem normal compared to my book. My book is unique. It's a special story. The characters jump on the page, and it's so entertaining. You keep turning the page. It's a masterpiece, man. Whereas these books are masterpieces too, but their books are entertaining, but they're pretty entertaining. They're not like Ivan's book. Ivan's entertaining. Ivan's book is so entertaining when you read it, man. Yeah. And that's why I told you it will be a public embarrassment when I release my book. Like, oh, Brandon Sanderson, J.K. Rowling, all these guys are gonna flake shit when you read my book. Holy shit, man. There's something about Ivan's book that's more entertaining than our books. And we have help from the best editors in the business. Yeah. Brandon Sanderson, George R. Martin, J.K. Rowling have help from the best editors in the business. When they write their book, the editors help them with their book, obviously. And yet, their book is still not as entertaining as mine. And I did everything myself. Yeah. Because I have the heavenly gift that they don't have, obviously. That's why my book is a masterpiece, man. You'll see what I'm going to read it, guys. Anyways, guys, I talked for now 42 minutes. That's 43 minutes. That's good enough. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Stay tuned. I'll make a video tomorrow after my shift at Cocoa Fruity. No, I'll make my video around maybe 8 o'clock at night. Because my neighbor's doing my hair at 5. That might take me 2.5 hours to do. So I'll make my video around maybe 8 o'clock. Around there tomorrow. This is Admiral. I'm signing out. Peace. I hope you guys enjoyed this show. Peace out, guys. Don't hate me, son.